Hello and welcome to another to buy or not to buy video of mine. Let me start this video by asking you a question. What if death wasn't the end? In a world where immortality is attainable, the rules of life change drastically. So today, we're diving into Nobody Wants to Die, a game that flips the script on the classic detective genre. Is this a futuristic masterpiece or a dystopian disappointment? Well, let's find out together in this video today. Let's get started, folks. I'm going to be talking about how this game actually starts in terms of the plot. I'm going to be talking about the gameplay aspects. I'm also going to be sharing some of the negatives that I think this game has, so that by the end of this video, you will be able to make an informed decision whether you should buy Nobody Wants to Die, or should you wait for a sale, or just stay away completely. So let's start off with the plot. Now you dive into this neon-lit, crime-ridden New York City in 2329, where eternal life comes with a sinister cost. You are playing Detective James Kara, who's haunted by a brush with death. And he takes on a high-stakes, unauthorized case with the help of his younger partner, Sarah Kai. Together, they unravel a deadly conspiracy hidden within the city's elite, risking everything to expose the truth. Fans of Cyberpunk Noir detective stories or titles like Bladerunner and Altered Carbon will find a lot to appreciate in Nobody Wants to Die. The game's visual style is a standout, with a retro, futuristic atmosphere that blends elements of Fallout, Starfield, Cyberpunk 2077, and there are even hints of Bioshock. It somehow even reminds you of Blade Runner. While it's not a traditional action-packed shooter, in fact, you will not be using any guns at all in the entirety of this game, because the focus is on atmosphere, it's on storytelling and detective work, which creates a unique experience. It's almost like a proof of concept for a larger, more expansive game. And if you can embrace its deliberate pace and emphasis on narrative, you will likely find it a rewarding journey. As I may have told you at the start of this video, this game will cast you as James Kara, a detective in a world where death is optional, but the consequences of your actions are far from it. Now, this is a world of eternal life, of infinite consequences. The game's premise is both fascinating and chilling. In a future where death is reversible, the value of human life has drastically shifted. This creates a unique backdrop for a detective story, filled with moral ambiguity and societal commentary. The world building is exceptional, with a dystopian cityscape that feels both familiar and alien. Now, the core gameplay loop, this revolves around investigating crime scenes and piecing together clues. The game's detective mechanics are well executed, requiring players to examine evidence, to interrogate witnesses, and analyze information to unravel the mystery. The puzzle-solving elements, while not overly complex, add an extra layer of challenge and satisfaction. And while the gameplay is engaging, it's the story that truly shines. Nobody Wants to Die delves into themes of identity, mortality, and the consequences of unchecked technology. The narrative is presented through a series of well-written dialogues, cinematic sequences, and intriguing plot twists. Embracing Nobody Wants to Die as a narrative-driven noir detective experience is key to enjoying it. The game intentionally skews traditional shooting mechanics, focusing instead on atmosphere, investigation, and storytelling. Now, this deliberate choice might leave some players wanting more action, but it also gives the game a unique identity. So, its strength and its weakness lies in the approach that this game has taken. The experience overall feels like a promising glimpse into what could be a larger, more expansive title in the vein of Bioshock. I do want to take some time to talk about the world of Nobody Wants to Die. Before that, this game has been developed by Critical Hit Games. Now, I really want to give them very high marks because it is a game which excels at crafting a convincing illusion of a sprawling metropolis teeming with life. The world feels expansive, filled with flying cars and a seemingly endless population. However, upon closer inspection, the game's limitations become apparent as the environments reveal themselves to be more confined and the distant details less intricate. But if you look at it from a macro level, you will feel that this is a massive game, and that's why I would give full marks to Critical Hit Games, the developers behind this particular game. The world is meticulously crafted, with attention to detail in both the opulent, high-tech districts and the grimy underbelly. The environment design effectively supports the game's narrative and atmosphere. Even the characters are well realized, with distinct appearances that reflect their roles in the story. The protagonist, James Kara, has a weathered look that perfectly suits his world-weary detective persona. It's a lot of these small little things that come together to make this game stand out. And I haven't even spoken about Unreal Engine 5 because, hey, the capabilities of UE5 are on full display in this particular game. The game's atmospheric, neon-soaked world is brought to life with stunning realism. And these core features of UE5 create dynamic lighting and incredibly detailed environments. The city's neon signs cast realistic shadows and reflections, while the intricate details of character models and objects are rendered with stunning clarity. The voice acting that we have in this game is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, kudos to all the voice actors in this game. They've done a brilliant job. And that is what makes this whole game so much more immersive. The characters really bring you in together, which, by the way, towards the end will also kind of leave you disappointed because you will be left wanting more. I'm not gonna spoil the game here because it's anyways a short game. It's a very short experience, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But I can say that by the end of this game, I was like, hey, I could have really used some more hours into this game, and I wanted to know more about the characters in this game because the world that they have created in this game is absolutely brilliant. And I think that that is one of the key reasons as to why you have a lot of people expressing their dissatisfaction, or there might be a lot of negative comments online as well about this game because it's extremely short. Speaking about the length of the game, well, I took my sweet time because I wanted to explore various things, and I also took my time with the puzzles, so it took me say about 10 hours to finish the game. But I think you can finish this game in less than 7 hours if you really go at it. And that's probably one of the other factors which have had a negative impact on this particular game, because people have expressed their dissatisfaction with the game's length. And people have complained that this looks more like a tech showcase than a full-fledged game. Well, in parts, I will agree with them, but not completely, because this game does have its own unique identity. And yes, in parts, I would say it does look like a tech showcase because there's no action at all here. When we talk about gameplay, it's all about puzzle solving. There is nothing in terms of action here. You're not going to lift up your gun. You're not going to shoot at anybody. So the gameplay bit is kind of unique, which may be a positive to a lot of people and a negative to a lot of people. Now, this particular section is subjective. I kind of liked it, but at the same time, even at 10 hours that I spent with this game, there were parts where I thought maybe this can be forwarded. Kind of an expression or a thought did come to my mind. So there are bits which kind of lag, or it will slow things down. And as far as the story goes, you are gonna be having a big question at the end of the game. Well, I did understand the ending, and it's a very sad, very depressing ending in my personal opinion. That's how the game developers wrote this game, but it's gonna it's gonna have people wanting more, is what I can say at this stage, because I don't want to spoil things away. Well, despite its strengths, obviously no game is without flaws, and this game's investigative mechanics can sometimes feel repetitive. Like I told you, sometimes you'd just be scratching your head and you'll be saying that, hey, I just wish I could just forward this particular section. And while it's visually striking, the game overall lacks the depth and interactivity of open world titles. I'm so used to playing open world titles now, especially Assassin's Creed. I'm looking forward to the new one that's coming out. I know it's pretty controversial with a black samurai and all that stuff, so I'm going to be talking about that game a lot more in the next few videos of mine. But hey, I mean, that's my 2 cents. Like I told you, the ending might leave some players wanting more closure. Overall, this is a compelling narrative experience, and I would just say an experience. It's not one of those games which feels like an interactive movie. No, this is not that. You do have gameplay here, so it's not exactly an interactive movie. It's something more than that, but less than an action open world experience, is what I would say. And the premise is fascinating. And while this game, it might not revolutionize the genre, it definitely delivers a solid and thought-provoking story, which leaves you wanting more. I won't deny that as well. But something's here. I think they just needed something more. They needed this extra spark which is missing with this game. I think if they could have just gone that distance, I mean, you had greatness at your hands and you just let it go. That's what I feel about Nobody Wants to Die. But hey, if you enjoy detective noir and are looking for a game that offers a unique perspective on immortality, if you're looking at an expansive world, at least good lore around the characters and a good background behind the premise, the plot, then this title is definitely worth checking out. And it's also inexpensive. It's not one of those expensive titles. What do you think about it? I'd be very happy and interested to know more from you lovely folks. So please keep commenting and share your experiences about this game if you have played this already. And if you're thinking about whether you should buy this game right now, then I think it's inexpensive, so you can give it a try. But you can also wait for it when it's heavily discounted, because this game is not very long. So if you want your money's worth, then I would suggest that wait for a sale. I think you'd be happy with the money that you spend on this game. Personally, that's what my take is, and that's my 2 cents on Nobody Wants to Die. And that brings me to the end of this video. If you've liked this content, folks, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. But it's a wrap for this one, and I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.